Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Quanawath with the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp. Come with another quick lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And this evening, I just want to touch on, the financial collapse as you see in this article from RT News. It says a massive financial collapse is coming that will destroy everyone's assets, warns Paul Craig Roberts. Right? So as we see, the US dollar, the US economy is about to go from worth less, going into how it's continuing to lose value to ultimately worthless, right? Because an ultimate collapse is going to come, and it has to come in order to establish the MOTB infrastructure, man. So that system, the former system has to be, what's the word, dissolved, right, in order for them to implement this new one, right? So just reading in this article, it reads, it has yet to be fully unveiled, but the United States has been robbed blind by the powers that be, which have underwritten America's financial assets as collateral for the coming pop of the derivative and financial bubble. Quietly outside of public view, those in control have made a series of regulatory changes preceding the coming collapse that basically dispossessed the American people of all our property. Most Americans have no idea this happened, but when the rubber meets the road, they will learn in an instant that their lives and futures have been stolen from them. Paul Craig Roberts unpacked the issue in a three-part series called The Great Dispossession. That the bubble will in fact pop, it is not a matter of if it will pop, but rather when it reaches its inevitable limit, right? Because this whole system is built on debt, man, right? And that, what like the scriptures say, let's get that real quick. In Habakkuk, it talks about them that laded themselves with thick clay, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So that proud man being Esau, Edom, right? This is not a right bone in their bodies, man. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, right? And that wine being those philosophies, right? The things, the ways and customs that they've spread throughout the entire earth. As the scriptures say, they've spread themselves as a green bay tree, right? And the green bay tree is a tree that reaches, massive widths and heights, man. So that's the magnitude in which they've spread themselves across the globe, their influence. It says, behold, it's like, yea, also because he transgresses by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, right? Going to all the embassies and military outposts they have in all these countries, right? It says, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, right? They've come and took peace away from the earth, man. Right? He is as death. He can do nothing but bring death into existence, man. Right? He can only cause harm, turmoil, right? Evil, right? That leopard cannot change its spots and cannot be satisfied, right? He's never had enough, man. It's never enough death. It's never enough destruction. It's never enough, right? He can't be filled. But garnereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, right? So he gathers them all, under his wing, his wicked wing, right? And pretty much has held the world at gunpoint, man. It reads, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him, it's like, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, right? And he's stolen the whole earth, right? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? So that debt, that thick clay. Reading this in the NLT, it says, But soon their captors will taunt them, they will mock them, saying, "What sorrow awaits you, thieves? Now you will get what you deserve. You've become rich by extortion, but how much longer can this go on?" So they've built their wickedness or their riches, Salakia. They've built their riches on extortion and debt, man. Right? And brothers have gone into that Babylonian money magic, was like the first debt based system, and this is just Babylon reconstituted, man. So when we read and it says here, um, the great dispossession, right, going into how these upper echelon elites, right, these globalists out here have gone ahead and compromised this system, man, right? So they have a bubble that's about to pop, which is going to lead to the fall of America, financially. It says Paul Craig Roberts unpacked the issue in a three-part series called The Great Dispossession, that the bubble will in fact pop. It is not a matter of if it will pop, but rather when it reaches its inevitable limit. The Fed suddenly and rapidly moved from 0 to 5% interest rates, a reversal of the policy that drove up prices of stocks and bonds. Roberts explains. It says the Fed raises rates by reducing money supply growth, thus removing the factors supporting high stock prices and collapsing the value of bonds. This results in a lowering of the value of stocks and bonds, serving as collateral for loans, which of course means the loans and the financial institution behind them are in trouble. Bonds have already taken a hit. The stock market is holding because participants believe the Fed is about to reverse its interest rate policy and lower rates, which isn't going to happen, man. Right? Those rates are going to continue to skyrocket, right? So like I said, the whole economy, the whole debt is based in these loans um, from these stocks and bonds, man, right? And which is going to cause what to happen? The value of the dollar to completely collapse, right? Which is going to lead to hyperinflation, which is going to coexist with the famine that's about to come, right? It's going to play its part in the famine because the ability for people to acquire goods is going to be damn near impossible, right? Which again is going to have the masses searching for salvation, right, from Esau Edom, which is going to be presented as that RFID microchip, right? Reading on, it says, prior to the great stock market crash of 1929, the velocity of circulation took a precipitous fall. This means the number of times a dollar is spent during a given period of time decreased dramatically, which destabilized the markets, right? Let's get a precept. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 10. It reads, "And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate." Right? So these stock market experts, they're all watching this thing collapse, man. Right? And they're crying out. These articles, like it says here in the NLT, they're an alarm, right? A cry of an alarm will come from the fish gate. This is the marketplace, the great market, right? Which is the stockroom trading floors, man. It says, and then howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills. So that stock market is crashing, man. As it's reading, the uh, the markets have been destabilized. You know, it says the private Federal Reserve tries to manage this process to prevent such crashes, but the reality of fractional reserve banking is that there will always be booms and busts due to the corrupt nature of fiat currency. And that's why they're going to push the digital currency, man, right? They're going to go away from this fiat money system and into a digital based system, right? Where no cash is involved, right? No hand to hand transactions, right? You're not going to be able to have the fluctuations in the what's the word? The number of dollars, right? the like it talks about the amount of money spent. It says here, uh, continuing on, it says boom or bust. So like yeah, but the reality of fractional reserve banking is that there will always be booms and busts due to the corrupt nature of fiat currency, which is not real money, right? And that's why you see the gold standard being brought back, right? Gold and silver and precious metals prices will continue to skyrocket. And what we're also seeing is countries separating themselves from this American oil dominated dollar, going to a gold based dollar, man. You know, it says, uh, it's a lot. What happened in the lead up to 1929 is once again happening today. The 21st century as a whole is marked by a long term drop in velocity of circulation, which is currently at the lowest level on record. Meanwhile, stocks and real estate have been driven up to sky high prices well beyond what they are actually worth in real terms. When the bubble pops, it will be the biggest bubble pop ever, producing unprecedented dispossession and economic collapse, man. And that's pretty much the point, right? Finishing out the Zephaniah, it says, Zephaniah 1 and 11, Howl ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All they that bear silver are cut off. So when it says this will be the biggest dispossession, right? All assets are going to be completely dissolved, man, or taken away, right? And the economic collapse, right? The biggest ever unprecedented disposition and economic collapse is on its way, man. You know, and that's what we're about to see. People losing homes, people losing jobs, people losing, cars, people losing land. All these things, right, that people put their value in is going to be completely made worthless. You know, and that's the prophecy, man. Right? It said they that bear silver are cut off. So all this, the stock system, the bonds, right? All this day trading, and real estate, every aspect of society is going to get hit, man. Right? That's why when it talks about uh, the rivers of Egypt or the Nile being dried up, right? That was that. What's the word? That's likened to the economy, man. Right? I think it's the 19. Slovakia. Mm, Slovakia. Might be 13. No. It's a lot. Let's go. I can't remember where it was. Let's go to Ezekiel 7 and 19. Because this is where we're gonna, see people start to abandon the dollar, right? As this collapse ensues, right? It's like Ezekiel 7 and 19, and it reads, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord," man. Right? So all these dollars, all this, riches and wealth that people are hoarding away, stashing away, it won't be able to save them, man. Right? Why? Because the Lord ultimately doesn't value these things. But it's like it says in the beginning of the verse, they shall cast their silver in the streets, man. Right? So that's how the worth of the dollar is going to be in Babylon the Great. You know, we've seen it in places like Venezuela, for instance. You know, and we're seeing it in other countries that get destabilized because it spoke in the article about the destabilization um, of the dollar, right? You know, so once this dollar gets destabilized, then what, right? It's going to go from worthless, right, as I taught the lesson, to ultimately worthless. You know, cast in the streets. You know, it's only going to be worth the amount of fire they can make to keep themselves warm at night, man. Right? Let's go here in Proverbs. We'll close it up. And close with this. Proverbs 10. It reads here, Proverbs 10 and 2. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. You know, so the all the riches that these people put forth, you know, as we read in Ezekiel, it can't save them, man. Right? And as we see this dollar continue to collapse, right, people are gonna realize that they put their heart and soul into something that would not profit them, man. It says the Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, right? So we're gonna be taken care of, man. But he casteth away the substance of the wicked, and that substance being cast away is happening as we speak, man. You know, going back to the article, it says a massive financial collapse is coming that will destroy everyone's assets, man. Their substance, right? Their substance will be cast away, right? The substance of the wicked, right? Well, the substance of the righteous is what? Our faith, right? So, you know, our belief in Yahweh Shema Shai and our connection to the Lord and His Son, you know, for the Most High and through His Son, right? You know, that's our substance. That's our assets, you know. Um, that's pretty much the point, man. Right? We'll finish out the article and then we can close it out. Let's see if I got another scripture we can get to. This is continuing on. When after more than a decade of zero interest rates or near zero interest rates, the Fed raises interest rates and it collapses. When the Fed raises interest rates, it collapses the value of financial portfolios and real estate and produces a financial crisis. As authorities have set in place a system that bails out secured creditors with our bank deposits, stocks, and bonds, right? So all your money, all your assets are going to be touched, man, right? And it's completely done away with ultimately. It says, as the authorities have set in place a system that bails out secured creditors with our bank deposits, stocks, and bonds, we will have no money and no financial assets to sell for money. People with mortgaged homes and businesses, ooh, your businesses is gone, right? Let me see if I can find that precept. Salakia. Uh, yep, this is it right here. This is, yep, uh, Isaiah 19 and verse 5. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the rivers shall be wasted and dried up, and they shall turn the rivers away, far away, and the brooks of the fence shall be emptied and dried. The reeds and the flags shall wither, right? So this is going into that economy collapse, man, right? Because the rivers, speaking on the Nile in this precept, is the main channel of commerce, man. You know, right? That's where all the money flowed through, and this is what we're seeing. The flow of money is being halted, you know, and it's going to ultimately, as I say, dry up. The paper reads by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither and be driven away and be no more. So everything, like I said, we will have no money and no financial assets to sell for money. People who mortgaged homes and businesses will lose them, as they did in the 1930s, and when they lost their money due to bank failures. People with car payments will lose their transportation. The way the system works is you lose your money, but not your debts, right? So all your assets are going to be completely gone, right? But you're going to still be indebted, man, right? You still owe. right? It says the fishers also shall mourn, right, going to their businesses, and all they that cast angle into the brooks shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the waters shall languish. Everyone, right? Everyone is gonna feel the pain, man, right? And it's prophecy. It's the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You can expect more bank collapses, which will mean the loss of your debt, your deposits. The federal insurance program will not recoup whatever you lose because, as previously mentioned, all deposits have been turned into collateral for creditors. It is all, or it has happened. Sorry, it has all happened before, but not at the scale of what is pending. Roberts warns, and that's the Lord, man. That's the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai intensifying in the land. Because it has to be a total collapse. He's using these globalists, right, to establish this new world order system, which is attached to that digital dollar, right? But in order to establish it, they have to do away with the old dollar, man, right? Uh, we can keep going. It says, moreover, they that work and find flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded, and they shall be broken in the purposes thereof. All that make sluices and ponds for fish, right? So this is what we're seeing, man, right? Because that's pretty much the point on that. Just going into the economy drying up, as it said, everything shall be shall wither and be driven away no more, right? So that we're watching the slow yet quick demise of the Babylonian system, man, right? We're watching things hasten, right? So as we see the prices of things start to creep upward and upward, it's due to the loss of value in the dollar, man. Right? So we're seeing all these dollars flood the market, right? Which is ultimately going to lead to its collapse, man. So everything that you see, right, uh, is about to take a turn for the worse, right? Evil is only evil, the scriptures say. But the point's been made, right? From worthless to worthless, man. The collapse of the American economy, right? So again, I pray our listeners edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. I'm going to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word without truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. Hey, Kwame Yasharala. We're almost home. Shalom.